Hey there Facebook, it is Vanessa here again, your motivational speaker, trainer and head coach from Live, Love, Give. And today's message is one that is really underpinning a lot of what we do in our lives that makes such a huge difference to our well-being in all areas. And it's really around the habit that, or the kind of habits that most affect and most have an impact on our emotional, mental, physical and spiritual well-being and health. And so I really want to dive into that, and I want to start with asking you guys the question, which is ultimately around connection, because what I want to dive into is your habits and rituals around how you connect in your life, how you connect with others. And I'm really finding that the kind of rituals and habits that we have in this realm of connection really do determine those 4 different areas of our life, which really is all encompassing. If you think about it, your mental health, your emotional health, your physical health, and your spiritual health, all of those are underpinned by your rituals and habits in your connection. So I want to ask you the question, how do you connect? What do you do to connect with those people in your life? Do you connect through problems? Or do you connect through progress? Do you connect through, unhealthy food and just like doing unhealthy things? Or do you connect through maybe your health and your fitness? There's all these different things that we can connect with. Do you connect through judgment and gossip? Or do you connect through, kindness, and being able to see the best in other people? We've got to identify what current habits and rituals we are engaging in, that if we really get some self-awareness and we shine some light on them, we know they're not healthy for us. But if we really look deep, the reason and purpose for that kind of behavior that we're engaging in is ultimately for connection. And what I really want us all to be able to move away from is those surface level connections that are all about problems. I love what Tony Robbins says about this, that the people, the number one addiction in the world is problems, and so we can oftentimes get connection through, complaining about a problem or listening to somebody else tell their victim story over and over again and just validate them no matter what. And personally, I've gone through so many transitions in terms of my forms of connection, my habits and rituals around connection. And as you can imagine, they were pretty unhealthy before I started down the path of self-awareness. And for me, how mainly they were playing out were, I was connecting through going out and partying like practically 6 nights a week, and not looking after my health. And I was definitely connecting through food and probably drinking and things like that. And I was definitely connecting through, validating people's victim stories, telling them what they wanted to hear and not necessarily what they needed to hear. How else did I do that? Anyway, there are a few of the top ones. If I think of any more, I'll throw them out there. But ultimately, when I started down the path of realizing I'm not building quality connections, these connections that the other one was like, definitely when I worked in the corporate arena, there was so much judgment and gossip all the time. And, I definitely engaged in that for connection, and so anyway, all those different ways that we can, unhealthily connect, at some point, it affects our mental health, our emotional health, our physical health, and our spiritual health to some degree, with certainty. And at some point, if we want a different result and we're feeling like we're not creating quality connection in our lives, and we're picking up that we're really just connecting through problems all the time, and it never really feels that deep or meaningful or good, then we have to be courageous enough to get beyond our fear of loss of connection and actually, strive forward in a more congruent way that is much more healthy for us. So for me, you know, I'm not going to lie, I lost a lot of people in my life when I started down a more healthy path, you know, and I stopped partying and I actually became more addicted to my health and fitness. And I took some of my friends who were, you know, crossing that line too, who were also into their health and fitness. I took some of them with me, but I didn't take everybody with me, unfortunately, you know, or fortunately, however you want to look at it. But definitely we have to make those transitions, you know, and when you do that, you know, you're no longer connecting through food and stuff. You're actually connecting through your health. You know, I'm talking about unhealthy food. And even I remember making one of these transitions when I was really transforming into my health and fitness, when I was still in that corporate arena. And I remember having my bosses, my manager and the bigger boss of the department actually, you know, tracking me down in the lunchroom, cornering me and telling me that what was I doing? What was I think I was doing with my health and fitness? I don't need to lose weight. You're too skinny. And I know for some people that might be like, well, so what? If somebody calls you too skinny, that's all right, isn't it? But it was actually it was bullying in a lot of ways, you know, and I even had somebody at the time, you know, at a work party, because I wasn't drinking alcohol at that time. I was like, you know, and I used to go out and, you know, you'd do Friday night drinks with everybody. I didn't feel the need. At that point, my health was like, I was on a bit of a health kick and a health challenge, and I wasn't interested, you know. I'm not a big drinker anyway. I'll have a little bit sometimes and it's a bit of fun, but, you know, it threatens other people when they don't get it, or when they think that you're taking this healthy path and potentially, you know, that's kind of reminding them of what maybe they're not doing in their lives. And you're going to have those challenges come up in your life, but you have to stay strong and true to yourself on that path, and not be so afraid of loss. You're going to lose people. It's inevitable. But, you know, not looking at it as loss, but also just really focusing on what you stand to gain in your mental health, emotional health, physical health, and spiritual health, and also the people and the quality of connection you can really step into and open yourself up to when you get out of those unhealthy ways of and patterns of connection. So I'm really hoping me talking into a little bit of my story is resonating with you guys. It's helping you sort of maybe pinpoint in your life where you are ultimately not connecting through healthy ways. You know, even I've just had a recent experience, you know, with a beautiful family member of mine who I felt like our connection was just going to be problems, and negativity. And I was like, I threw out this challenge of just like, okay, well, what's like, if we're going to talk about that, like, what are some things we're grateful for? What are we feeling great about? What's going awesome in our lives? What's exciting, you know, because we ultimately, if we want to be great friends, partners, you know, daughters, sons, mothers, fathers, whatever we are to everybody in our lives that we care about, then we owe it to them to help them create and train their brains to focus on all that's right, not all that's missing. You know, focus on what's right in their lives, what they can be grateful for, as opposed to all that's wrong and, you know, and what's missing, you know. And it's not about just avoiding all the negativity. I think that there's a time and a place for every part of that, and we have to work through it and express it and all that sort of stuff. But it's where you stay consistently. You know, and at some point we need to be a positive influence in the lives of others, particularly those ones that we want to really create long-term connection with. So really hoping that this is resonating with you guys, and let me know if you have any questions or comments, or you're thinking about this and you're like, yeah, I'm connecting through this or this or this. I know it's not great for me, and I'm committed to making a transition here. How could I bring a better connection here? How could I, if I want to keep this person in my life, how could I be a leader here in terms of creating a new opportunity for us to connect on a different realm? Maybe you want to start a bit of a health kick. Maybe you want to start, you know, learning about something or doing something, you know, like create a new habit for you guys to engage in, as opposed to the unhealthy ones, and rewrite that story. So definitely want to check in with you guys. And before I say hi and jump into the conversation, definitely want to make sure that all of you guys, if you're not already, come and join us in the Limitless Potential Inner Circle Facebook community. If you want to be, if creating awesome connection with people, not based on problems, but based on progress. You know, if we can make that shift, you know, shifting out of connection through problems to connection through progress, like that's a beautiful place. Think about how different your life would be if you stopped connecting through problems and you started connecting through progress. And that's what the Limitless Potential Inner Circle Facebook community is absolutely all about. So if that resonates with you, make sure that you click the link above and request to join, and I'll definitely approve you into that amazing community. And definitely want to check in with you guys. So I've got Clint and Stephen and Sam and Bufera and Moises and Judy and Alexandria. Awesome to see you guys. And Juan and Lucy's here. Yay for Sweet Pea. And Carlos and Nuna and Victoria and Naeem. And Letty and Tracy and Ramon and Jelma and Bradley. Awesome to see you guys. And Letty from South Africa. Always love seeing you here. And Kelly and Spady and Emerson and Phil. And yes, Letty, lifestyle. Yeah, absolutely. Get into your health. And Alexandria, great question and definitely perfect timing to improve connections every day. Looking forward to even more intentional connections with targeted people. I don't live close to family anymore, so have to really work to keep up close relationships. Yeah, and I really feel for you there, Alexandria, because I travel so much and I've been doing so for the last 3 years. And yeah, I'm really appreciating spending some more time back home in Australia with my family, because I haven't got to really spend too much time with them. So, you know, when we get more intentional with those targeted people, as you say, you know, we can create such beauty in our connection, such depth. And that's what life is all about. You know, it's not about the surface level problems. It's about actually helping and supporting people. And I know, Alexandra, I remember I was just thinking about you this morning, how a few days ago you said that you were going to have a pretty difficult conversation with your friend. I'd love to hear from you how you went with that. But also, you know, that to me, I said to you at that time, that is real great relationship building. You know, that's real love to me, is our ability to shift out of telling people what they want to hear, which can often keep them victimized and stuck in their stories of limitation. And you think you're helping them, but actually you're not, you know, but you don't want to take that risk of upsetting them or causing disconnection or loss of that relationship. But at the end of the day, you've got to choose depth and quality over just trying to maintain quantity on the surface. And so I love that you are somebody who gets deeply intentional about your relationships, because that is what life is all about. That will create the fulfillment that we all seek. So I love that. And Lucky's here, and Ray and Angel and Sam. You've taken great care of your health. You look amazing. Thank you so much for those kind words. Yeah, I think, you know, your body's a temple, your mind's a temple, everything, you know, those 4 key areas that I mentioned, that's where we all need health. We need it in our mental health. We need it in our emotional health, our physical health, and our spiritual health. All of those key areas, you know, they are what make up, you know, real wealth and health in our well-being. So I love that, Sam. And Jessica's here, and Jody and Mandy and Hussein and Laval and Ramon. Good friends help you get to your goals. Others wanted to keep you to their level. Yeah, and you know, we're all living an experience that's very subjective. And I don't think that anybody is ever really intentional about bringing you down for the sake of bringing you down. It's actually bringing you down because they're so focused on making themselves feel better. So definitely you want to, you know, I'm always saying it, like probably every day, the quote that you guys all know, the Jim Rohn quote, that you are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with, and you want to be around people who want to support, encourage, and challenge you to be all of who you are and get to a new level of your potential. And they're doing the same. You know, that's such a beautiful place to build relationship. And that's exactly why the Limitless Potential Inner Circle Facebook community exists. So I love that, Ramon. Thanks for sharing. And good morning to you, Laval. And hi, Jessica and Mandy. My life is changing in wonderful ways. I love hearing that. That's awesome. And Letty, maybe a good yoga class, Vanessa. Yes, definitely. You guys so helped me the other day when I threw out the question about, online yoga programs, and I'm going to be starting that this week on top of my F45 classes. Shout out if you guys have done F45. I just did my first class yesterday, and it's so good for me. I think I'm going to test it out for the next couple of weeks and see where I go with it. But yeah, definitely so good for me because it pushes you on the cardio level, and I'm super used to weights. And I definitely want to bring in that yoga, the F45, and definitely keep up my gym. So I'd love to hear from you guys if you do F45. It's a bit of fun. And Ram's here, and Mo, and Shawi, and Dennis, and Christopher, and Sam. Progress and healthy connections is my goal. Beautiful. Absolutely. And that's why we love having you in the Limitless Potential Inner Circle Facebook community. It's awesome, Sam. And Eduardo's here, and Letty. This year is all about self-love for me. Look after myself. Absolutely, Letty. And I think that every year should be that, Self-love is the foundational piece to overflow into all other relationships in our lives and everything that we do in our lives. We can't appreciate any of our progress if we don't have that love for ourselves, because we never feel worthy of it, and nothing ever is good enough. So definitely that's the underpinning. And Vicky's here, and Alonia, and Shawi. How can I have a good time? Okay, bit of a general question, but I would probably say that, your experience of life is born in the mind. Whatever, nothing in this world has any meaning other than the meaning that you generate in your mind and you attach. So if you're having a bad experience, you've got to reframe it if you want it to feel good or have a good time. So definitely, if that's of help, remember that every experience is born in the mind, and go on that journey of discovery as to what you're making things mean, what you're believing about things. Find out more about what you do want, what you don't want, who you are, what your values are, all that sort of stuff, and align to it. There's so many different answers and perspectives to take on that question, but I super appreciate you being here, Shawi. Hope I'm saying your name right. And awesome, Alexandra. I look forward to hearing from you. And Kenny's here, and Mandy. Started the new year at the top of my game. Awesome. I love hearing that, Mandy. That's so good to hear. And Steve's here, and Paul. Awesome, guys. Well, it is super awesome to get to connect with you, engage with you guys. I love having you here, and thank you as always. I so appreciate each and every one of you showing up and spending your time with me. So thanks again, and I'm absolutely sending you all of my love, light, blessings, gratitude, energy, enthusiasm, everything extraordinary coming to you to wherever you are in the world today. I hope it's absolutely beautiful. It's a beautiful day here in sunny Melbourne today, and I'm looking forward to spending some more time here. And Hassan, who's just joined me, or anybody who else has just joined me, I hope that you guys catch the recording, get a ton of value from today's message. Make sure that you really ask yourself, how am I connecting in my relationships? And is it healthy to my mental health, my emotional health, my physical health, my spiritual health? If it's not, find another strategy or find another group of people to connect with. A great place is the Facebook community, the Limitless Potential Inner Circle. So definitely come and join us there. Sending you guys all of my love, and I'll see you all tomorrow.